All right, so it looks like we have everybody on here. At least, it said 13, so I'm going to assume that it's totally okay. Anyway, hey everyone. I'm Feather Monster. You're here to see a Premier Division match between Saunamen and 2EZ. This is supposed to be a Week 6 match, so it's theoretically supposed to be, the maps are supposed to be, what is it, Kodiak and Vale, I think? But they're being silly, I think, and this map doesn't have the nice chat box. I have to read the thing. I don't know. I don't think they really wanted to play Kodiak, which, is unfortunate for them if Zephram says, yes, you have to play Kodiak. Anyway, so we're sitting around figuring out what to do, waiting for people to, actually change the map to whatever we're going to be playing and join up. It's been a little while since I've, been able to cast. Things have been busy, and I'd assume it's pretty similarly for everyone. People have been busy. It's getting to that point of year where, people have to actually go do, like, family stuff and stuff like that. What the heck? I mean, what about video games? Anyway. Of course, since this is a daytime match, my co-caster is, of course, my bird, who will hopefully not be too hideously loud, but who knows? She's a bird. She's up to no good. And it looks like they're actually joining up on here on Tram, so I don't know whether they're actually just deciding that they're going to be playing on here or what. I mean, whatever. Let me ask. Anyway, obviously, let's see. Premier hasn't played many matches in the last couple weeks. All right, so So, there haven't been that many Division matches in the last couple weeks. Some of it may be scheduling, some of it may be the fact that, two teams have totally evaporated. So that's probably made things a little bit more weird because it's like, with that, there's supposed to be two Premier Division matches per week. And, when two of the teams have gone MIA, then that means that some weeks there'd be none, some weeks there'd be, or no, wait. Yeah, some weeks there'd be none, some weeks there'd only be one. So it just makes it a giant mess. Anyway, taking a look at this. But let's... come on, do I have admin on here? Oh god, what's the command? Is it help? Tells me... I don't remember. Freaking commands, how do they work? I don't think I have admin on it. Because they aren't supposed to be, actually playing on Tram, much to their... Howdy, yeah, come on, guys. You're supposed to be playing on there. 4. Come on, guys. Ay, ay, ay. Anyway, so people are being silly because obviously, people don't want to play Kodiak. Partially is because, of course, it's new, and new is different and weird. And, it does have some issues that probably need to be worked out still between it, like, just, there's some frame issues in some of the more open areas and that kind of thing. and vents being somewhat confusing because they like overlap each other in a few areas. But yeah, I really want to see. Um, I do want to see Premier teams play it. That was like one of the things I've been really looking forward to, is seeing Premier teams actually be forced to play it, because of course, it'd be a grand adventure. But while we're sitting around here, let me do and see who's here. Who is that? That's Hope and Wooly. Okay. But meanwhile, we'll go over the lists of who's here while they fret over the fact that they have to go and play on Kodiak. We've got, for Saunamen, we've got Tane, Nate, Lipa, Narimer, Llama, and random anime hero is Hopenuoli, or however his name is said. For 2EZ, we've got Wob, Eagle Eye, Ray, Zaphod, Spring, and Heracles. I would, contemplate giving them, if they actually, decide to change the map to Kodiak and actually play. I mean, they have all the people. I would, contemplate giving them a few suggestions just as like a noob, because I'm just some noob. I'm not some crazy high div player, but like I don't know, if they're gonna complain this much, I'm not gonna tell them about the awesome hallway of doom. Anyway, okay. Are they going to do stuff? I mean, I tried to do the vote here, but at the moment, everybody's just kind of ambling around because this is, okay, we have a map change. Huzzah! Anyway, one of the things that had been kind of an issue with Kodiak, again, as I mentioned, would have been the central part of the map that has like central biodome and or biosphere. I don't remember. It's like that whole, yeah, that whole section of the map that's like right here, Upper Rapids, Lower Rapids, Northern Biosphere, Central Biosphere, and Southern Biosphere. That whole section is sort of has some issues with frame stuff, probably because it's so open and has so many trees and junk. And that was one of the things that I know was at least being contemplated, was trying to make NSL versions of this map, because, well, losing a zillion frames is not fun. But yeah, I'm assuming that they'll figure it out. I'm just curious whether they'll realize that this hallway is a jerk and awesome to, rampage down as Marines. Anyway, so now that we're finally on Kodiak and waiting for people to rejoin, it looks like all the Saunamen is here and they're all joined up as Marines. So we will be waiting on the rest of 2EZ to get in here and get joined up. Comedy. And then hopefully we can actually start this game. Of course, it is running late. It was delayed 15 minutes initially, but now it's 30 minutes past almost, well, 20 minutes past. Whatever. Freaking time. How does it work? It's 25 minutes past where it should have been initially, something like that. I don't know. I'm apparently still not entirely awake yet. There is a river. Obviously, Tane is adventuring. I guess, they really haven't gone and... Oh, who's Other Merc? Other Merc is... Snarimer. He's not a Merc. Oh no, something beeped. I left something open that makes sound. Alright, closing a couple extra windows here so that I don't have to worry about that. And there we go. And now that there shall be no more random beeps. Zephram, not giving them any points unless they play Kodiak. So they're forced to play it, so I guess right now they're figuring out vents and stuff, or at least I'm assuming. But yeah, I'm curious to see. I mean, as I said, I don't. I mean, I guess we do have one person in here. Do we see Nitsi? Nitsi? How the heck is your name said? It perplexes me because I think I recall hearing it said both ways. Doesn't matter. Anyway, I'm just curious if they're gonna figure out, that this hallway is a jerk right here. I mean, I would assume that like Heracles has played some of these. I'm pretty sure he has played on this map, so I'm pretty sure he knows that this hallway is a jerk. The question is, will Saunamen know that? But yeah, in case you guys didn't know, as I'm reading chat here, the Great Mendas will be releasing an update to NS2 Plus that'll basically make it impossible to smurf unless you're using a totally different Steam account, which will make things amusing. All right, Saunamen are ready to go. But yeah, if they end up with this, just talking a little bit about how things may end up going for them. If 2 Easy ends up starting down here in this hive, it'll become much more important for the hallway here. What is that? Server bank, that hallway right there. That's like the jerk hallway. That'll become considerably more important. But it looks like we're going to be finally going into round 1 here of Saunamen versus 2 Easy here on Kodiak. Let's see what the heck happens. I have to see how rusty they are and see if anything silly happens. Alright, so they actually started up here in the Hangar Bay Hive, which means that the server bank hallway isn't quite as important. However, it does matter for later on. They have to be able to secure that to be able to get a second tech point. Obviously, not too much crazy going on here. We've got, people building up some RTs. They're going for a second IP right off the bat, which I think is pretty, if I remember correctly, is pretty typical for Saunamen because they just end up like running right out there and putting a lot of pressure out on the aliens and making sure that they can, just use their main advantages, which is their marine, they're really good shooting as Marines. See that Lipa and Llama have already moved down sort of in this little central biosphere / server bank area, getting some nice shots on the way there down the hallway and basically obliterating him. Wob is there as a little Gorgie, and he better run the heck away, because they'll be coming after him. So very quick expanding all the way down to the other, down to command. Looks like we'll have, but they're just going to try and work on that. Poor RT didn't even get really built at all. Looks like we're going to have another skulk. That'd be Zaphod coming back in to help out. So they actually went for Shade Hive first, which is probably a good idea on this map because you will get Aura as lurks. Not to mention, it always seems to give you quite a bit of an advantage as aliens to be able to sneak around and hide when your enemy doesn't know the map. I mean, they don't know where to look for the camouflage skulk, for the silent skulk that is creeping out from like under the bridge or something. Anyway, we got Nate versus Eagle Eye, and Llama's coming up behind him. I end up picking him off, but he did get Parasite there on Llama. Tane's all by himself down here versus Ray and Zaphod, who have rotated over. I think they were the ones who were over by Server Bank, if I recall correctly. Anyway, up to 4 RTs for Saunamen, but I don't know. We'll have to see how long those ones last. Looks like they're giving up on that and may end up going back because there's nobody over towards the base, really. Okay, never mind. There are 2 in there. They just built the observatory. They're taking no chances on that one. I mean, that's not something you normally see right off the bat in higher level matches is a fast obs. But obviously, if you don't really trust that you're going to be in the right position and not knowing the vents for where you have to lane block, it might actually be a pretty good call. I mean, it's not like it's tech that you'll skip later on anyway. You're going to need that obs for phase gates later. See, ring around the rosy going on here with Lipa and Zaphod. Here comes Naramir. So he's pretty much gonna be dead. Is he gonna see him? Where is he? Oh, he's like underneath the floor. There is a little vent down there. I didn't know there was a vent down there. I guess that's one of those vents which I just don't know. Where is it on the map? Oh, it's that one. Okay. See, even I don't know the map that well. Or at least that vent right there. All right, llama getting cleaned up right over there. There's pretty much all the skulks hanging out right here. They're gonna melt that RT there in Lower Rapids, and then go. I don't know where. If they keep people away, maybe to base. But it looks like they're not gonna risk it. We're gonna have Nate running back just in case. But I think they got, yeah, Narima spotted them there in Northern Biosphere, so they know that base is not going to be challenged at this point. Pretty much running the wrong direction there because he was going to back right into the hive. We do have a lurk up, 2 lurks up, Zaphod and Ray, both up as lurks. Ray killing Tane over there in hydroponics, however, they did lose the harvester there. Taking a quick look at the graph. I mean, all things considered, not too bad of a start right off the bat. Lipa over there by himself versus Zaphod, who missed a couple bites there. Oh, finally gets a bite on Lipa. Oh, and Ray just gets melted elsewhere on the map. That'd be Narimer who got him. So we'll watch Zaphod maybe get out. Okay, he's in the vent. Alright, so that had to be somewhere up here in Upper Rapids. Alright, yeah, they're having some FPS issues, I guess, over... I'm guessing towards the central part of the map. As I said, that is one of the issues that is pretty much known, is that there's just too much stuff or too open of an area that allows probably too much of the geometry being rendered or something like that. Anyway, they're down to 1 lurk now, and looking at that, it'll be a while before fades come up. I mean, with only 1 lurk, they're going to lose one of their advantages, which would be aura over here in the nice long hallways, of course. It just needs like a couple spikes there. Okay, he does take down, Zaphod does take down Lipa. Spring looking around, he looked kind of confused there, like maybe he thought a Marine was coming, but nobody is. However, it looks like he's going to go after that RT there in surface access, because that one is pretty much wounded at this point. They do finally have weapons 1 armor 1 over for Saunamen, and they're up to 5 RTs, so they're not doing too bad. Seeing Chad out of the corner of my eye, Ray the Umbra dispenser. Alright, so Spring barely getting out of surface access with, like 5 HP or something ridiculous. We got Nate and Lipa down there, probably going to recap that. However, we got Llama and Narimer just already poking at the hive. They only have 23 res, so it's not like if it goes terribly wrong that they'd be able to, drop another hive at this point. Scanning their way out, looks like there was that RT has been there a little while because it's up to 70% grown. But with the 2 Marines in there, I mean, it looks like Zaphod going to be coming over there and Ray as well, so they may be able to pick off one of them, but it looks like Zaphod just got scanned. So it's going to be more up to the Skulks to try and take that down. Llama's still alive. Spring getting very low. Again, having like 2 HP at the end of that fight. Tane's going to come into that area as well. And he probably will get quite a bit of damage onto that RT if not taking it down. Nate versus Eagle Eye. Nate ends up winning that engagement, no problem. We've got Wob the Battle Gorge spitting down the hallway. I think he got some damage there on Lipa. It's very accurate Gorge spits. So they're just kind of, this is another one of those obnoxious hallways where it makes it kind of hard to engage in as an alien for obvious reasons called, distance. Anyway, they just dropped the hive right there with the 2 Marines right outside. They know it's there and they're going to come zooming right on in. I don't know whether that was a nice bait or what, because they're going to be looking forward to coming and melting that, that nice pile of T-res right there. We've shotguns almost done. They just completed weapons 2 will be done here in a moment as well. So that'll make it a lot easier for them to try and melt Zaphod and company. But it looks like they're all going to converge on him. We'll see what happens here. But at the moment, Zaphod gets very low. He has like 2 HP, literally. 2%. Okay, close enough. So that could have gone very badly. I mean, losing the lurk, always a bad thing. They're going to lose that. They're going to take out the extractor there, and in southern biosphere and move on towards surface axis, where Llama is kind of waiting around the corner. Heracles zooms on in on him, but ends up getting taken down. It's up to Eagle Eye to try and take him down on the reload, which he does. However, there's a Marine in the base. That'd be Narimer. He takes down one of the Veils. It doesn't look like he got any more damage onto the other ones, but he's going to be backed up with Tane, who has a shotgun. I think that's the first shotgun on the field. Now he's going to get a huge amount of damage into Zaphod, who may be able to go hide in that vent, which it looks like that's what he's going to go do. Meanwhile, Tane and Narum are both in there. That's going to be more T-res that is just going to go away. That's going to be another fail down, which will definitely hurt them. And here come a couple more shotguns. We have Lipa and Nate also coming to the room. Phase Tech also starting. And looking at the map, there's a couple aliens floating around, but there isn't really anybody to defend against this giant mess of, Marines that are now going to be working on melting the hive, because all the upgrades are down at this point. They don't have, they aren't close enough to be, yeah, they are almost to Fade Res, but not quite. I mean, as it is, okay, they did finish surface access at the very last moment. And I don't know whether they've dropped any backup Veils anywhere, but it doesn't look like it at this point, because that hive is, the hive's almost done. So at least for them, that isn't too bad. The main problem at this point is just that they lost their Shade Hive. They lost, all their upgrades. So that's a huge amount of T-res, and they were forced to relocate, which, to a hive that at this point probably isn't the best, against what is potentially high Marine pressure. I mean, this is the hive where you could totally get screwed up on if the Marines are just, if that was your initial spawn and they feel like screwing with you and hanging out in server bank and just preventing you from having any more res. I mean, that hive is trapped by two hallways that are just obnoxious. And it looks like we've got another hive just building anyway down here in Surface Axis as well. I think I remember seeing that dropped. I think I got the room names confused. I'm just like, okay, yeah, the hive's done, whatever. But they've got another hive drop, so they're pretty much hoping, I think, that they'll be able to get another hive up, so if that way this shotgun train rotates down there, that it won't be much of an issue. We have Zaphod still up as a lurk. Looks like Spring just went Fade over here. So that'll help them a lot, except for they obviously don't have the biomass to be able to have metabolize. It doesn't have them that little bit of extra HP. It's just, they're definitely on the back foot as far as this goes. Alright, so we have Spring up as a Fade, and it looks like he even has the new skin, so he's all nice and pretty looking. Heracles just goes zooming right into Tane's shotgun. Spring almost gets obliterated just coming down this little sharp stairwell. Those shotguns mean business. Alright, so the other hive is up as well. However, it looks like there is going to be a Marine heading that way. Let's take a quick look. That'd be Llama. He's going to be moving right in there, and he's going to be like, hey, there's a hive in here. But first he's going to kill all the drifters. Wob is running away as the little Gorgie. He's going to go back up everyone at the hive. Looks like Spring's going to go try and take him out and see if he could basically make it so that they have 20 less P-res on the field. But look at the P-res. There's just so much floating around that it's going to be no issue, even if Llama does lose that shotgun. And look, they're putting a gate up right here, little hallway. Is that part of server bank as well? Looks like that's also part of server bank. So they're just gonna walk on in. Eagle Eye's going Fade in the back corner. They have to see the eggs there, and he ends up dying in the egg. Spring going in there trying. Oh, Spring ends up going down. Zaphod's still alive. He is doing. Oh no, never mind. He is not still alive. Three skulks still on the field in various places. Tane ends up going down. Saunamen have now been cleared. Naramir coming through the gate. Ray going down. Heracles and Spring. Oh, Heracles is the only one that's still alive. They're dying too fast for me to be able to finish my sentence about how, who else moving, trying to go grind the gate. Tane comes through, picks off Heracles. Tane also takes out Wob, and now Eagle Eye's moving in, gets taken down. Nate's through with another shotgun, because again, they have a lot of P-res. So being able to buy another shotgun is no problem whatsoever, and they can just walk back in at this point. You can see that the bottom of the map is also flashing because Llama's in there again. Yeah, just kind of working on the hive, Same old, just it's just obliterating a random hive that is, located down there. They actually have enough res to be able to drop another hive, but at this point, there's kind of a gate over by the one, and just they don't have the time to be able to do stuff. And Ray's turning into a lurk over here in the corner. I mean, he was within the scan range. They know that he's there. The problem is, I think that if looks like Narimer's going to try, maybe? I mean, he should be within scan range. So it looks like they're not even going to bother. They maybe figured it was just a skulk. So that bit of spiking will definitely help a little bit. However, all the skulks died at once. So he needs to be able to get, nope, he's just going to go down. He might have been able to get out through the vent there, but still, yeah, they're just going to call it GG. Taking a look at both the hives there. Alright, so there goes command, and now will they get surface access? Before Ray respawns. Is he totally out of ammo? Llama might be totally out of ammo here. Okay, there he goes. Alright. So first round going to Saunamen. I mean, I know everybody was complaining about not knowing the map, but they did a pretty good job there, and they didn't really let Too Easy really take advantage of their shade hive first. I mean, as I said, that is a pretty good choice on a map where there's tons of trees and stuff to hide behind that people aren't exactly good at, checking because they don't know it's there or whatever. They don't know all the clever hiding spots. Aside from the fact that, one lurk got melted right off the bat, and then just they were like, hi, we're Saunamen, we're going to walk into your base and be annoying because that's, what Saunamen is pretty much known for doing, I think. What are they talking about? Something on the stream? Bomb planting noise? I don't know what he's talking about. Oh, is it? Maybe my bird was ringing her bell or something. I don't know. I have no idea how that sounds through the microphone and all that nonsense. I'm reading chat, obviously. And even better, if that was my bird, poking at the bell that she's currently staring at. Well, yeah, that's a noise that I totally tune out. All right, so I'll be waiting around here for the second round. I'll have to see whether this is going to be all Marine wins or what. I mean, it partially depends on how much these guys really have been playing and what they've been playing. I mean, I know a lot of people have been playing, at least, there have been a lot of people playing WoW since the new expansion came out. There have been people playing CSGO because, well, CSGO exists and other such things. So it's like, how much NS2 have they played? Does that mean that their aliens are going to really end up hurting? Because obviously it's a lot harder to practice NS2 aliens when it's not just, standard shooter. And of course, the alien side has always been Saunamen's weak point. So this could just be a total stomp, or they could do something totally clever and end up, walking right in. And I didn't remember to put my overlay up, but that's okay because it looks like we're going to be moving right into round 2 here. This will be the final round on Kodiak, so they're probably looking forward to going to something more normal. So onward, they're going to get the hive I hate over here in command. So watch your cis chains, guys. They're going to go shift hive first, which is, of course, that does seem a little bit odd to me because that doesn't give you the armor. It doesn't give you the ability to be all sneaky and stuff. I mean, it just gives you speed. And a lot of the stuff, where that becomes more useful, where it's in pubs, a lot of the pub Marines can't track the really fast aliens. It's like, okay, whatever. Anyway, we're just seeing a whole group of five, all of Saunamen just moving in. They're melting all the Marines that were there. There are 4 left. Narimer's kind of down to about half HP. They're going to take out the power there over in Lower Rapids, which will definitely help slow down the expansion. However, that means that there's three expanding towards the south. Wob, Eagle Eye, and Spring, all just building up the RT down there in surface access. Looks like Nate might be scouting down here towards what the heck's the room? Central Biosphere. Moving into Tunnel B5, I think it is, towards surface access. We got all three of those Marines now trapped in this little switchback hallway here. Lipa moving in alone, gets picked off. Wob goes down. Nate there with 2 HP or something ends up going down, but so 2 Marines left. They both are a little bit hurting in the armor area. So everybody has to respawn up right up here in command, and they have to worry about this hallway though. They could go out the other way, but we have oh, never mind. He's not going to go down that hallway. We do have a gorge as well, so that's going to be helping to, at least secure some. We see some Hydras up, which, always fun in the early game, kind of obnoxious. But at this point, they're kind of just keeping a couple of aliens busy. I mean, you could hear somebody biting, so maybe trying to bait them in, but obviously Spring and Eagle Eye aren't going to fall for that. Spring's just kind of watching to make sure they don't get encroached on. Having some nice battle gorging going on, of course. I think Wob was more accurate with the gorge spit. We're seeing 2 skulks moving in towards their base, so let's see what they end up deciding to chomp on. Looks like it's going to be the arms lab. We have Wob just waiting around the corner. We have Tane showing up as well. So Wob goes down. It's going to be 2 skulks onto the arms lab, and they may end up going down. They do have only armor 1 at the moment, and that's 3 Marines down. So they have this nice choke point called 1 IP. They did build an OB somewhere. The beacon did go off. It looks like... Where the heck's the armory? I am mildly perplexed. There's the OBS. Am I just totally blind? I feel totally blind right now. I'm like, where's the armory? Whatever. Maybe it got recycled instantaneously. I don't know. Anyway, they're taking out the power over here in the Southern Biosphere. Good call there, just so that they don't have to worry quite as much about a phase gate just like showing up magically outside their door. They're getting the arms lab back up. And taking a look real quick at the res graph, you can see that was about when they ran back to base and started melting things. So that was pretty good call there, because they were almost up to 6 RTs for good, 15, 20 seconds there. Alright, Tweezy's obviously back down to, they're going to be back up to 6 again soon. Not quite able to land the pistol shots there on Llama for a little bit. They do end up taking him down because, 2v1. It's not fair. Alright, there's an armory drop again. So maybe that's what happened. It was a forward armory of some variety. Spring's just kind of guarding this little section here while Tane and Nermer are just like hanging out up on the roof. It's a very tall room. We do have a lurk up that have been... two lurks up. Llama and Nate up as Saunamen's lurks. So Nate already took quite a bit of chip damage, so he's going to have to back up. Looks like they may have a pinch set up here with Eagle Eye moving into Northern Biosphere. Though he's taking a few shots there at Nermer, so obviously they know he's there now. A beacon again, because they rotated into base, so really Saunamen's doing a good job of just making sure that they, get to poke the base and keep wasting 10 res every time. Phase tech has been started though, so it looks like 2EZ is basically, in a sense, saying screw you at that, because, well, now they'll just go put a gate somewhere useful and call it good. That may end up being a gate over here in Hangar Bay, perhaps, or over somewhere else like, northern or central biosphere. I mean, southern biosphere would be the ideal place because it's literally right outside their hive, and they can arc fairly well from there. Was that where is that? Yeah, I guess that was still the OBS that was placed over here. So now they don't have the OBS anymore. But, I mean, it's a good place to be able to arc from and stuff, so maybe set up over in external walkway or something if you want to do the you know, basically in that room, but not quite kind of thing. Alright, that does look like a set of phase gate? That looks like a phase gate or something. No, they're building an obs. They're building an obs. Oops. But there's no power right there. So they're doing a lot of forward obs. I mean, I guess that does give them quite a bit of like sight on the map. We see that stuff is getting chomped on in base lab Lama and Naramir. While that was all going on. So that obs they dropped, kind of useless in that aspect. We're seeing that the Tane, Naramir, and Llama all working on that, on chomping down the command chair. Nate, meanwhile, is trying to spike everybody who's down here in surface access, which does appear to be the place that they're relocating to. The chair is down now. So they're going to have to rebuild that IP and get those 3 guys back up onto the field. Obviously, with them relocating down there, it's going to be a lot easier now to, you know, harass this hive. Except for the fact that now the entire top half of the map is going to be so easy for Saunamen to expand to. However, they got shotguns. They're saying, screw you guys. We have shotguns. We're going to come, you know, shoot stuff. They have a Hydra there to be annoying. They obviously don't have any armor right now, so it's just 2 bites and a parasite, and there's still the lurks up. So Saunamen are looking pretty good at this point. They only have 3 res for 2 easy as well, so that's going to make it hard as well. It's going to make it hard because, well, obviously, you know, healing, kind of important. They do have some welders in that little mess of Marines. But if they're going to have to run back to be... no, they have to run back anyway because there's a lurk on that. And we have Llama going down there, almost taking out Eagle Eye in the process. Looks like the comm had to jump out as well. Just complete disaster there. So they're down 1 lurk, but all things considered, not too bad because, I mean... Okay, 2 easy, they're on 3 RTs. But then again, so is Saunamen. And they haven't had to relocate, so they're doing a lot better in that aspect. I mean, a lot of those kills probably have been skulks. But, you know, they just dropped their 2nd hive. They're finally getting their armory up, they're finally getting an obs up. Now they can beacon. They only have the 1 IP, which is really hurt. They really just need somebody to like flank around and just take that IP out. Because that's going to be really easy to do with it at, you know, 20% HP or whatever the heck it was. However, it looks like they're going to do an all-in push onto the hive with shotguns. I mean, they don't really have much res to do much else. If somebody comes in there, you can see there are 2 skulks heading that way. It's going to be almost impossible for them to do anything about it. Is that an IP? Oh, never mind. They had another IP. Or no, that's the arms lab. Just kidding. So they're working really hard. They're going to melt that hive. Ah! Nate had gone into the hive to do I don't know what. But when he pops back out, he just got obliterated. So they're down 2 lurks. However, they're also going to be down a comm chair. So this is going to be another round, it looks like. Oh, no, wait, they built another chair! So surface access is destroyed. We're just seeing this like epic cycle of base trades. Alright, so we got the hive building, 32%. That aliens better not die. They got Llama and Lipa up on the field that are not gorgeous. So as they're rebuilding their base yet again, 2 easy has moved across the map to the alien start now. And the shotgun train is continuing. 57% ground. This isn't... I don't think this hive is going to be up in time. Alright, 2 gorges. 2 gorges on the hive. And again, 2 easy. Might have just pulled this off because, well, they're fighting some gorges. And they don't have another hive up. Ah, Ray wins that with the last skulk alive, so 2 easy does end up taking that round. All right. Kodiak. Yeah, that was kind of a silly set of rounds. Alright, yeah, we are going to Vale next, so I'm sure they're much happier about that. You can see how quickly the vote passed. It's passing with everybody voting. So that was some shenanigans. I think the part of it really is that they aren't, used to playing it. So that may be one thing that, when semifinals and stuff roll around, if one of the premier teams actually practices, that might be a good choice just because the other team's gonna be like, what the heck do I do kind of thing. But then again, maybe not. Who knows? All right. So we are obviously on Vale now. A map that requires much less explanation because, well, it's Vale. It's been around since like the Dark Ages. Some changes obviously, but it's Vale. What else can be said? We'll see the mythical battles for East and West Junction, battles for Nano. You know, some pretty standard starts on a pretty standard map, so I wouldn't be surprised if they end up going fairly quickly into this. Final should be Kodiak best of 5. Alright, what's going on there? Alright, nothing else exciting going on chat, really. I'll just have to see whether Saunamen end up winning Marines again or what. I mean, again, this is a case where I don't think really a lot of players haven't been practicing, including the Premier Division teams. Obviously, with there only being, there had been 5 at the start of the season, but now there are only 3 active ones. And even then, activity is questionable when there are only 3 choices of teams. And, one of them is North American, so that isn't the best. You can't do the weekday scrims because, well, time zones are evil and terrible, terrible things. But, you know, it'll just be interesting to see how this ends up going. They do have a couple more matches, I think, before they'd be able to technically go into semifinals. I'm not quite sure who it is or when it is or anything like that. I mean, this one, as far as I could tell, was scheduled at pretty much the last minute, considering that I got a message from Zephyr saying, hey, yeah, can you cast a premiere match in, an hour or something? Looking at this. All right, so we're going to while I'm reading chat, it looks like we're going to be moving right into round 3 here of Saunamen versus 2EZ. So this shall be a fun battle, and hopefully we'll see some good play here. And slightly less chaotic, considering this is a map that hopefully they have not forgotten since the last time they played. Arms lab first for Saunamen. Nothing too strange there. We got 3 skulks running up towards the skylight side of things. That'd be Zaphod, Spring, and Eagle-Eyed. Not even bothering with vents. They're just going to run right at Nate. 1 skulk down, 2 skulk down, Eagle-Eye. The only one gets taken down, Ray's all alone. Alright, he's going to take that. He takes down Llama. Heracles! No, he gets, caught on a wall there, perhaps. I mean, it looked a little bit... Wasn't able to make the, clever escape he perhaps thought he could. So that was, what? Couple Marines down for basically all the skulks except for 1. However, I think that they only had 1 Marine over on the topo side of things anyway. So all things considered, I mean, it's still not the greatest thing to lose your first engagements. But at least it was losing the first engagements on the side of the hive, so that way you could theoretically be able to reinforce it very quickly. They don't have to run all the way across the map. Naramir's still alive magically. He's versus Ray and Spring, and they're going to be able to go, yep, they're able to clear him up. But there's we got Llama and Nate capping over here in Overlook. Wob is there, his little gorgie, ended up dropping a gorge tunnel. That way they don't have to worry about sisting in. Taints by himself gets a lot of damage into Heracles, but with Wob there, he's going to help out. Oh, except for he ran out of skulk, so it's Wob the Gorge versus Tain. And Tain's getting some med packs, so Wob better be careful. He's able to dodge around the corner though, so the Gorge has survived. Looks like Eagle Eye might be set up in case Tain moves into the nano area, which he is going to do. He probably really wants to make the Gorge evaporate, turn into a green mist, I guess. Nate there getting a couple good kills, ends up getting taken out though by Zaphod. Llama shooting down the hallway at Ray. Tain's made his way into Nano though. The Wob's there to help heal up the Skulks that are there. Oh, okay, they do end up taking him down. And the other RT will be built soon as well. Take a quick look at the graphs. So far, everything's pretty Marine-sided. I mean, they lost a ton of res right off the bat. Alright, Lipa and Tane moving in. Oh, never mind, Lipa getting destroyed right off the bat. However, Tane was able to take down Springs. Alpha is pretty much chipped as well. They just need to get like half of a bullet into him and he'd end up dying. A Gorge Tunnel will definitely give them quite a bit more mobility if they're able to keep the tunnel alive. However, Tane's in there shooting at it, and well, Zaffa just gets picked off when he came out of the vent towards Llama. Looks like the tunnel will end up going down, as it does. Looks like we're maybe seeing a little bit of a base rush here. We got two Marines in Nano? Where's the rest? Well, one of them was right there in the hallway outside of base. They're going to work on the arms lab. We see Lipa running back. We have somebody spawning. Wob's building some columns there to hide behind. Lipa moving in, trying to help out somewhat. So we're going to have Spring working on the arms lab, and that's going to go down. I think we do have or we did. I thought Narimer, or I'm guessing it was Narimer, had been close to pipeline, so that would have been a better call perhaps to drop a chair there just in case. Oh, we got an obs though built in Nano, I think, and he's able to beacon back everybody. So all right, gonna work on some brand new IPs. That's what? That was 2 IPs in the arms labs. That's a huge amount of T-res right there. But they are at 6 RTs. I mean, you look across the map. I mean, they got a lot of stuff capped. There hasn't been any RTs taken down for of the extractors for Saunamen. So that's, I mean, they're still just gaining tons of res right now. Okay, we got Ray chomping on that right there, on that RT right there. We got Zaphod and Ray as lurks. Oh, Ray for some reason decides to go into the vent and ends up losing his lurk. Don't take expensive things into small areas. It just doesn't work out. So we got Zaphod hiding behind a box while Llama is just like creeping around. It looks like he was contemplating heading into West, but decided against it perhaps. So that's 2 RTs down, so they're down to 4, but it'll soon be back to 5. Oh, 2% left on that top of RT. That's going to be really easy for somebody to go back and just clear up. I mean, the one in pipe as well. I mean, it doesn't have any armor, so that'll also be easy for them to go and take down once they actually send somebody over there. Wob, I think, he's still up as his little gorge. He's doing a good job at making sure to actually stay alive. Power's down in Nano, so that'll help out as well. Tunnel's going to be going back up in Nano, so the 3 Marines that are going to be going in there, I mean, they are scanned in, so they know that, you know, they are kind of surrounded. Alright, so we got Drifter down, we got one, we have one Marine down. Tane's going to be next. Okay, Lipa's the final target. Oh, we got Nate and Llama running in from system waypointing. Wob's just gonna spit them down. Meanwhile, we got Zaffa hiding in the. Alright, nope, never mind. He was looks like he's making a attempt to run for the tunnel, but they're both really hurt. Just a couple of spikes and they'd be down. I mean, Zaphad's down to. Oh no, he lost his chance there. If he just maybe spiked a little bit. Then again, this is Saunamen. They're better Marines than aliens to begin with, so maybe they wouldn't have been that good of a chance to begin with. Maybe that he'd get melted. Just a little bit of damage onto both of them, and they would have been dead a couple times over. They're gonna kill the Crag. Power is down in Nano, so that'll make it harder for them to cap it. Looking at this, got Eagle Eye working on the down here in pipe. We've got. Who's that? We got Tane kind of holding on to base there. He's got ran into Ray. Wob took down the extractor. Nothing exciting going on in their base. It's just taking them a while to clear up Nano between, you know, killing 2 extractors, putting up the power. Meanwhile, looking at that, the res for both teams has just plummeted. Alright, Wob going through base again. Getting some parasites, I think, on a few things. Looks like quick expanding across the rest of the southern part of the map, which will make it a lot harder. Oh, Topple power gonna get melted. Which is pretty much the main thing that you do when the Marines end up taking Nano is take everything else from them. They are up to 3 biomass, so they should be getting metabolized here. I'm kind of surprised it's not up already, because that is one of those things. I mean, they have Spring up as fade. Let's see if anybody else ends up fading as well, but, you know, with 1 fade up, I mean, you want metabolized for the poor fades. That way they can actually, you know, be awesome and all that nonsense. We got Nate kill an assist. Very exciting before trying to recap that. And obviously they just lost their nano res all at once there because the power went down. So they're down to, they've lost 8 extractors so far. And, I mean, they're currently at 3-ish. I mean, 3-ish because the power's out here in Topo. So that one will be set up here again in a moment. This Harvester's almost grown for 2 easy. They'll be up to 7 by the time the Nano finishes growing. Oh, Spring just went down, however. Looks like he was fighting over here. Yeah, versus Llama. Oh, now Metabolize started. Okay, we do have Eagle Eye also up his fade, though, so... Not the best, not the worst there. I mean, it would have been considerably better if they still had 2 fades, but... So it goes. It looks like... what have we got here? Looks like I think Ray is re-lurking. So they'll be back up to 2 lurks. It looks like a lot of missed bites there. However, a lot of missed bullets as well. Tyne had a reload. Zaphod going in there, getting a couple of nice bites. Tane's going to be going down as well, so Eagle Eye and Zaphod cleaning up C12, no problem. They'll be able to have Zaphod bite that down. Meanwhile, it looks like Llama's going to take a shortcut through the vent. Shotguns going up. They are at Armor 1, Weapons 2. And of course, with Crag Heifers, that gives the aliens a little bit more of a advantage as far as, you know, being able to stay alive goes, but... Couple of missed bites from Zaphod. Here comes Eagle Eye to try and back him up. Alright, he does get taken down, and they'll be able to go through and actually take out the C12 extractor. We're seeing a lot of chaos going over here in sort of West Junction-ish. Pipeline Hive has been dropped. We have Lipa and Nate. Lipa taking out Wob. Now next is Ray, trying to land a bite there. Circling around, getting a nice bite on Lipa. Just another bite and some spikes. Okay, he is able to clean that up. Llama does have a shotgun now, though, so if Ray sticks around too long, you might end up eating a face full of shotgun pellets instead of a Marine. Ray is back! 2 kills! Alright, yeah, if I remember correctly, somebody said that he really hasn't played at all since Snails folded. So, all things considered, I'm kind of guessing that he's a little bit rusty. Anyway... We got Zaphod spiking at Tane there, who does have a shotgun. He's not going to get any closer because, well, staying alive is generally a good thing. So we're having this 3 push into C12 through the vent. Spring's looking to see if there's any more coming, but it doesn't look like it, so he might just go after Topo. Phase tech almost done. Alright. Llama and Nate had pushed forward down into the little hallway here, but now they're going opposite directions. And the group of 3 has gathered up again, taking a look at the res here. 10 extractors down and 6 harvesters. I mean, that's a lot of harvesters. All things considered, I mean, a lot of the time you'll see like a couple, but, you know, when it's almost equal to the amount of res that the Marines have lost, that's a little bit more... unhappy. I mean, I guess it makes sense, kind of, because, well, you know, Nano is by 2s. Alright, so we got Llama and Nate just kind of holding off the holding off the aliens while they take down that harvester. It has gone down. They aren't going to be able to like instant cap that between Ray spiking the hell out of them when, you know, it allows, and just generally, you know, the fact that it's right there. But we got Wob in their base chomping on the arm slab. We'll see if anybody does anything about it. Looks like we got Calm jumping out of the chair. Tane's also running back, so I guess he was over in Topo. Or I'm assuming so. And Wob is going to barely escape. Zaphod goes down by Lipa, so it was over here, I think. Maybe. Anyway, that was a phase gate that had been dropped over here in the neck. They did drop the power as well, so if they want to, they can go and take that down and basically prevent that whole, you know, encroachment entirely. Heracles is obviously up as a gorge, so, you know, beware the Heracles gorge. Ray is severely wounded, but may make it back. Nope! Not making it back to the hive. Zaphod, however, has re-lurked. He'll be back up as a lurk in a moment, and they're not going to take any chances here, as you can see, that with, you know, allowing an egg, somebody to get killed in their egg again. Zaphod just better make sure that he's careful, though. I mean, he's a lurk. He's kind of squishy. Nate gets split up with a nice bone wall there, so that way they don't have both of them chasing after Zaphod. And they actually dropped another hive down there in cargo, and they're going for the pipe hive is going to be a shade hive, which is again pretty good because you get aura. I mean, this is the time for the higher life forms. So taking a look at the P-res, lots for Saunamen. So those two shotguns that just went down, not that big of a deal, all things considered. I mean, I guess that Llama can't buy another one for a little bit, but they did get a dome gate, so that'll allow them to walk right into the new hive. Looks like that was looks like Heracles did attempt to use hallucination right there, but I don't know whether it just nobody was in range, so it just did a little like poof, because you could see the little cloud, but like nothing was there. So that hive just got obliterated. It has been wiped off the map. Meanwhile, we got Zaphod down there with the phase gate. Whoever it was that he chased through the gate by accident, perhaps. Eli Cubby gets a couple swipes on Nate, I think it was. Nate's back through. He gets cleaned up. Here comes Tane with a shotgun running back from cargo along with Naramir. Cutting the cis chain as well. We got, you know, Extractor going up there in cargo. Meanwhile, we got this like horde of whips randomly hanging out in C12. Tane has found a drifter. Eagle Eye taking a reasonable amount of damage. It looks like he's not going to chance losing his fade, and so he's going to back up to go heal again. We got Naramir and Lipa moving over. Nope, never mind, just Naramir. But this is like horde of whips, though. Looks like that'd be oh so fun to deal with. Zaphod just went down right there. It looks like he almost won the duel there with Llama. All Eagle Eye needs to do is just like oh never mind. They lost their chance on that one because all they need to do is like sneeze on him and he died. Oh, that was nice there from Ray. Just kind of waiting around the door. We have Wob up as an Onos, who doesn't have charge yet though, so he best to be a little bit careful. Taint's gonna come around the corner. Using the hallucinations there, but, you know, the oh, Naramir accidentally kills Lipa. Them all having different formats for their names is making it slightly confusing. So I almost said Saunamen as, like, a name rather than a team name. And we've got Wob just kind of trolling across the map now. And we've got, we had Nate in their base. He got taken out by Spring. So hopefully charge will be up momentarily, or at least I would certainly hope so. They do have plenty of res for it. Alright, we're getting Leap going. I'm hoping the other hive then will have it, because that is really important for the Onos. I mean, that is like the main... that's the panic button. It's the Onos panic button. And, you know, having it is kind of important. So Heracles, get on that right now. Do that upgrade. We're seeing not exactly a usual gate here, which would be the one over here in Overlook. So it looks like they're just going to try and push into there. Obviously, that is where the main the upgrades are located. They can see that Ray is in an egg. I mean, he pretty much just got scanned, so they better be careful there. But, you know, lurks don't take that long to hatch. So it looks like Maybe it was Lipa, maybe was trying to do that. Nice bone wall there to sort of split them up. Making it a little bit chaotic, of course, but they are going to clean up all those Marines, no problem whatsoever. Alright, they are just going to GG. So another round for 2EZ here. Alright. And Eagle Eye kills Ray. Alright. So despite losing the first engagement there, 2EZ wasn't too bad off. They were able to, I think it especially turned around on that base rush where maybe they should have just relocated a pipeline. I mean, it took them so long. But then again, I think that was partially because they had to go and, build the power in Nano, build an OBS, build a whatever, to be able to do that. I mean, that seems to be one of the things that keeps happening to the Marines here. Well, okay, last map was Kodiak. People don't know Kodiak as well, so it's kind of understandable, I suppose, that they don't know where they should be standing the lane block if they haven't sat there and examined the map necessarily. They're just saying, well, I guess, stand here maybe, kind of thing. But, at least for Vale, perhaps that should have been expected that they were going to end up with various aliens in their base, causing chaos, destroying everything that existed. I mean, would you pressure that out as Marines? That is basically the main response. Either you are going to clear the Marines in Nano as aliens, or you're going to say, screw it, let's just go for their base and let them sit there, because it's going to take them a million years to walk, all the way over. All the way over, or all the way over, depending on where the heck the Marines are located, to, be able to come back to the freaking base. In this case, I think they had maybe a couple people that were kind of floating around in the top half of the map. However, there was there a lurker gorge and stuff? I don't remember. That was however long ago. 17 minutes ago. I don't remember. So we're just going to go moving into the final round here of 2EZ versus Saunamen, with 2EZ as Marines here on Vale. Alright, they're going to go, Saunaмен's going to go Shift Hive again, which again, at least to me, is an odd choice. I know that, this past season, it did seem like it was, or at least sounded like from a few of the teams that was maybe more favored by, a random set of, of course, it always seems to be favored by the lower division, but it seemed to be favored now by a couple of the higher division teams. Mostly the European teams. I think a lot of the North American teams are just screw this, we're going Crag or Shade, depending on the map. Meanwhile, alright, so first engagement so far. Oh, alright, so that engagement there in East Junction definitely going the way to start with, towards 2EZ. Did take down a couple people there, or a person. Was it just one? Yeah, it was just one, never mind. From 2EZ. Tunnels up there in Nano. So, not the greatest, but then again, they weren't putting heavy pressure onto Nano anyway. They weren't even, 2EZ wasn't even considering it looks like. Alright, so we got 4 Skulks just kind of rampaging around the over here by East Junction. Spring and Eagle Eye backing up so they have a little bit more distance between them and the Skulks. They end up picking off a couple of them, so there's 3 there? 2 of them went down. So we got Nate and Lipa now working on the top of RT. We've got Wob cruising on through Y Junction. He's going to work on the cis chain. I mean, really, does it matter? No, it doesn't really matter that the cis chain gets cut. I mean, it's just kind of annoying. He did, whoever was coming for them, did end up assisting up there just in case, I guess. Wob's just kind of waiting around the corner, though. He's waiting for the assist. He's waiting for a skulk. He's waiting for something. Okay, he's been parasited. We got a llama working up there in Topo. Up in Skylights. The Topo RT did go down. And we've Nate just kind of waiting for somebody to, rebuild that and come around the corner kind of thing. Bob's able to clean up the 2 skulks that were there in system waypointing. Looks like he'll soon be joined by Eagle Eye if, Tane doesn't take him out or distract him horribly. But it looks like he's going to distract him horribly as he's running towards base right at the moment. You're going to run in there. Heracles is out of the chair there, just kind of waiting. I mean, obviously that had to be pretty easy one to call with was the Eagle Eye following along behind him. So we got a group of 3 skulks converging on Wob. They lost 1 skulk in that, but, lost 1 Marine as well. We've got the Gorge cruising around the map, making sure that, everybody stays nice and healed. It looks like they could rebuild that sys chain. But at this point, they're actually building up the power over here in system waypointing. Llama takes out Eagle Eye, jumped up on the little platform there. Llama's pretty hurt now, so he might not decide that it's a good idea to, attempt to take that engagement. All the aliens are cruising up towards the base again. We got, Heracles is going to take out a couple. He takes down Lipa and Nate. Tane was able to take him out, though, and Tane's just kind of dancing around the RT. Not really putting any damage on it or anything. I mean, I think half of it was probably them putting bullets in their own RT. But the Gorge is going to escape to fight another day. The sys chain has been reconnected. And there's only been 1 RT taken down, which I think was the one up in Topo. Yeah, there's a little bit of chip damage on some of these other ones, but nothing huge. Pop the blueprint right there, and it looks like Ray is going to get taken down by Lipa. Cephod is there as well. Alright, we got Lurks up. We got Nate and Llama up as the Lurks. But we got shotguns up as well. So Wobb's at the other end of this nice long hallway with a shotgun. So he has pretty terrible accuracy as far as landing every, pellet in the shotgun goes. But, I mean, just that distance is way too far for that to be an effective weapon. But, Lurk Spikes, on the other hand, much more useful at that distance. Eagle Eye getting swarmed. Looks like he almost took down Tane and got a fair amount of damage into Llama. Well, he's just gonna lane block. Definitely a good call there. And we see the powers going up over there in East Junction. They're actually building an armory right there. Seeing a lot more forward armories, which are kind of odd, but so it goes. Let's see if they end up doing anything else beyond that. Getting a nice bit of damage there onto, was that Nate? Yeah, it was Nate. Llama almost getting taken out. He had dodged into the vents there, into the little entry over here. Taking a full shotgun blast to the face or something like that. Just picked the wrong time to come out of Nano. They'd lost the tunnel. And now we got too easy. Just working on that, but a beacon. That seemed like a really preemptive beacon. I don't know whether that was, Heracles messing up, but considering he just wrote LOL, I'm assuming he did. Because the group of aliens that were moving up the left side of the map, they weren't really doing much. They stopped to bite res. There are a lot of mines around, too. You could see that when we looked back up at the Marine base. You could see there are a bunch over here in this general vicinity. So I'm guessing that Hera was trying to med somebody and the game freaked out. I thought that was a bug that had been fixed. Mendes, why does it still happen? Where sometimes if you're trying to med after having the ob selected, it decides to beacon instead of med things. And you're just like, what the hell? Why did it beacon? I didn't mean to do that. I was trying to med this guy before he died. Llama just landed on the ground by accident, so he's going to go down. He dove a little bit too deep there, literally. 1 mine there in Nano now, 2 mines. Lob Spring and Zaphod all holding on to Nano. There's nothing over in East anymore. There is, however, a mine in the advance. That might prove interesting if Nate has to make a very abrupt exit. So he's just going to work on spiking down those... Oh, he's going to just dive on Heracles. Couple nice bites there. He does end up taking Hera down, so they don't have meds at this point, but we got Ray with a shotgun coming in. So it looks like Nate is just going to have to back out. I mean, he has to know that Wob is going to be coming, so he's just going to have to duck into the vent and hope for the best. The vent in the mine in the vent didn't end up doing anything too extravagant. It just took out a skulk. However, they do have now a couple of mines and both extractors there in Nano. They did have the tunnel randomly get moved over here towards system waypointing. I mean, that is a very open room, obviously, and it is kind of part of the like marine highway in a sense. So Spring was able to take down that no problem, and he just got cleared there by Tane and Nate. And phase gate going up right there in Nano. They do have that up there. You know, is that weapons one? God, I wish that was a number instead of a little chevron-y thing. Weapons one, armor one, shotguns. So the gate is up, but it looks like it's not connected, so they don't have the base one up as of yet. It looks like somebody is building that. Spring might be building it. However, they just cleared everything in Nano. Well, you know, all the people that were there, and they have two skulks on the gate. So Wob's working on building that, it looks like. Kaboom go the mines, and they're going to take the power down so that way they'll be able to reclaim that. Taking a look at the res, you can see it's been a little bit of a roller coaster there for 2EZ. They did at one point go down to 2, and they're going to go back down to 3 again here because of the power going out. 4 extractors down in 8 minutes isn't exactly the greatest. I mean, especially not when they've had about 5 each, roughly 5, somewhere between 4 and 5 on average. But, so as far as that goes, that isn't exactly the greatest. Take a quick look at a couple other things. 2EC's also had the majority of the kills. It's not like that's, you know, the most important thing in the world, because this is a very heavily resource-based game. If you get kills, sure, that's good. But if you lose all your res, that's not good. You can get 1,000,000 kills, and, you know, if you don't have any res, that's not going to matter at all. So we have a gate now going down here to sub-axis. So I'm assuming that's going to be a gate where they're going to try and walk it forward down into, or up into system waypointing. Both fades up. We have Narimer and Tane up as fades. So this is their, finally they get to, you know, show off who are the higher life forms. Alright, so they're just going to get out of there. And we had the blueprint dropped over here in East. I mean, Ray's just able to go, cycle the shotgun. It looks like he's waiting for Zaphod to run forward and possibly claim that. Saying a little bit of an, some aliens swarming into subsector. I wonder if I said the wrong room name here before. I'm now thinking I might have said sub-axis. It's sub something, whatever the heck. There are too many rooms on some of these maps that all sound the same, that start with sub, or have axis in them, or start with the word pipe. Alright, so speaking of pipeline has been claimed. Ray is down to really low health there. All he needed was a couple more spikes and he'd go down. I mean, but they do have the gate up there, and it looks like they're building obs as well, so they're probably they'll be able to arc that if that is what they want to do, and especially with that that gate down there in sub-sector. Yes, sub-sector. Now that I'm second-guessing myself, with the gate down here in sub-sector, obviously that's going to prevent them from having a third hive there. I mean, if they're able to get the second hive up and, like, you know, not lose all these life forms, then that'll be pretty good for 2EZ. I mean, they're still at weapons 1 for, or that'll be pretty good for Saunamen, because 2EZ is only at weapons 1 still. They do have 4 HEs at this point, and they will have a few more if they're able to go and clear Nano, but there goes the sub gate. And we have Zaphod and Spring just chilling out there in Nano. They aren't even going to bother arcing. I mean, there really wasn't anything for them to defend. Or there wasn't really much, you know, besides the harvesters there. So it looks like they're going to maybe pull to try and defend that at this point. Tane ends up taking out Ray, but he's kind of trapped. He has to go past the phase gate. However, it only takes a little bit of chip damage, so not the worst there. So with that gate being lost there in subsector, that opens up the left side of the map, so they'll be able to go and bite down that res. However, there is the fact that, well, I mean, Saunamen do have a lot of res in the bank. Some of that will probably instantaneously go into into upgrades. We'll have to see what hive they pick next. Or, oh, I guess it was a crag hive. Sorry, I missed that. Springs there all alone versus the Fades. Alright, so we have 3 Fades up. Tane, Lipa, and Narimer. So I guess one of the lurks is going to end up being the Onos. We'll have to see which one it is, because at this point they're both sitting at 33 res. So all that re-lurking that went on, though it probably helped them at the moment, it's going to slow them down a lot. How did I miss the other Fade happening? I only remembered there being 2. Oh well, whatever. So it goes. So they really need to make sure to hold... They need more RTs is what they need. I mean, the problem with having the lurks end up being the Onos, or at least, you know, the lurks that have since re-lurked, being the Onos, is of course that it's going to take them a lot more. They're at 34-ish res. And so with them at 34-ish res, well, if they hadn't re-lurked, they would have been able to go Onos, or... Yeah, or if not, very soon. So they're gonna be able to get a gate over here in Nano, so Too Easy will be able to lock down both of those RTs. They already have one of them built, and they'll be able to get the other. That'll take them up to 5 RTs. However, that will possibly cost them the RT over here in Skylight. As you can see, there are a couple aliens moving in that general vicinity. And so Tane is moving in on Eagle Eye. He's able to take him down. They're just kind of cruising through base now. I mean, having this little tiny triangle of gates, I mean, it allows them to help out Nano, for sure. Because, well, it's like right there. And even if they get that gate encroached on, they can just come through the other one. However, it doesn't give them much forward momentum. I mean, they have quite a bit of a walk to get down there. So if they get cleared, I mean, they have to watch out, because we see, as you can see, Narimer's like, oh, Narimer and Lipa both pretty hurt. They do have the hive there, so that'll help out. Tane goes down, though. But they do take down those shotgunners that were there. You can see there are 2 sitting there on the floor. So they're down 1 Fade. Narimer better make sure that he's, you know, survives. He ducks out of there, you know, not that much as far as HP goes. He's already in the red zone on the sidebar, as you can see. Yeah, it's been kind of a roller coaster there for the res. It looks like Saunamen have been much more even as far as their res has gone, though obviously losing Nano has hurt them a bit. They are back up to 4 RTs. Meanwhile, Too Easy will be up to 4 as well very soon. Well, assuming Zafod actually doesn't die here. Okay, he didn't die. See, Nate was kind of considering zooming in there to help out. Tane taking a shotgun blast to the face, but he ends up taking that engagement and winning, so he'll be able to take down Skylights and prevent that from being recapped. Topo has also been cleared, so this, as I said, this little triangle of gates doesn't really give them much forward momentum. I mean, as I said, it lets them hold on to Nano, so that secures them 3 RTs total, with the 2 in Nano and the 1 in base. But, you know, they need a forward gate somewhere, whether it be dome, whether it be system waypoint. They need something somewhere so that way they could actually be able to, you know, move forward. Or Y junction, or, you know, the neck, somewhere where it allows them to block lanes and, you know, just generally move forward. I think that the neck or system waypointing will probably be their best bet as far as that goes, just because it will block more of the map. They could move forward on the right side of the map, except for, you know, that still leaves the left side pretty much open. So that'll put Saunamen up to 5 RTs. That's 13 RTs down, 13 extractors down. So Saunamen's done a lot better on the res biting as of late. It's sort of come in waves, I think. Like they lose life form or they lose nano or something, and then it just, you know, it causes them to go kill everything. They are recycling gate there in east, so them trying to attack that was pretty useless. I think we just lost another gorge there. At least I think that was a gorge death noise. And yeah, they have dropped a gate there in system. It's not exactly the best gate, because obviously the tech point gates are kind of out of the way. They aren't blocking lanes as much. They're easy to circumvent because, well, they're off in a corner of the map. So I'm assuming that's just a gate, so they can try and lock that down. They'll have somebody go rebuild the power, and then they'll be able to go and actually, like, you know, move forward on this and try and end the game. Biomass is going. We still don't... well... Okay, the lurks, the ones that were lurks are now up to 45 res. And we're seeing a giant swarm moving into sub. So Spring's all by himself, and he's just going to get completely destroyed, and they're all going to just melt that. Well, I better watch out! Yep, okay, somebody stepped on a mine there, didn't kill anybody. Tane barely survives, 22% HP. Zafod moves in as well to try and pull them off the gate, but the gate is long since gone. They're going to clear that up, and so that position they had is pretty much you know, it's pretty much useless at this point. Looks like an OBS went down as well, considering it just said face tech. Oh yeah, another OBS built or moved or something. I think it might have been moved, which is a little bit odd. So they moved up to C12 gates. That blocks lanes a little bit, but I mean, look at the map. It allows them to have free access towards subsector. But it looks like they're gonna just try and walk into the hive and see if they can do some damage. They're gonna scan it out. They'll know where the upgrades are. All the aliens are on the wrong side of the map at this point. And there is no equivalent of an alien beacon. So they're going to have to make a decision really quick here, because, you know, whether Saunamen's going to go after a gate or if they're going to just throw part of the hive or what. I mean, it looks like at this point they're just going to try and melt the hive. They are researching cat packs as well. So it looks like they're going to go after the nano gate, which might not have been the best gate to go after. I don't know whether they know that the C12 won't exist. So the pipeline hive has gone down. That takes out a lot of their higher upgrades. They did just claim subsector. But it looks like here comes the Tweezy shotgun train, and they're going to move the gate up to Dome. Or they're going to move a gate to Dome. I mean, there have been a lot of these. I mean, you could tell a lot by how the triangle of the face gates go. Alright, so they still have the shells as well, so that can be reconnected well, not really very easily anymore. I guess they can just cyst around it. Kind of. Alright, so the shotguns have now moved into... the shotgun cat packs have now moved into cargo, and they're just obliterating. I mean, combination of the cat packs, they really need to take out those. They just need to pick their target and just take them out, because at this point, I mean, there's a lot of them that have been really low HP. There's one down. However, they just lost Lipa, who was up as a fade. Nice swipe onto the Eagle Eye, another one down. That's two Marines left. You do have the hive for healing. Nate is very low, though. Shotgun right at the camera. Zaphod and Ray are trying to kill us. Okay, that'll be Ray down. Alright, so that's all the Marines cleared. A phase tech has been lost because, again, they recycled that OBS. Zaphod saying lols. And here comes the Marine push again. They do have the other hive up in what is it? Sub-axis. That one is built. They don't have enough res to build another hive. But if they can keep clearing out these guys, I mean, they don't have that much P-res. They don't. I mean, give them a little longer, and they'll have enough for another shotgun rush. But they need a Crag there. All right, you see, Chain is turning into a fade. We got Llama up as an Onos, who's just kind of hiding right around the doorway. He really needs charge, is what he needs, because that's a terrible hallway to fight in, just because it's so long. I mean, think of how long it'll take him to run down that stupid hallway. I mean, sure, that gate is a nice forward position, but man, running down that hallway is going to be brutal. They need a Crag on the hive. Do we have a... Okay, that is a Crag building. Okay, we do have a little Gorgie here helping out. I think that is, what is it, Hopenawali? I don't know how his name is said. I'm terrible. Alright, Lipa going in saying, hi, I'm an Onos. He's going to take out Wob, and then they're going to go after that gate. They don't have another OBS built anywhere either. Or maybe they're rebuilding it in base. Yeah, okay, they're rebuilding the OBS in base. I'm not quite sure why they recycled the original one, because I think that it was hiding behind that mine. Maybe somebody was being super sneaky and ended up sneaking in there. But I don't know. Alright, so after that mass amount of chaos... Saunamen are almost up to 5 RTs again. They do have nanogrid again. They have a... What do they have? They have a shift hive and a crag hive, I think. The cat packs are going to be brutal, though. Chain's trapped on one side, Narimer's around the corner. They're going to go for a system gate. That's a great position to put a gate in when you're considering that's between the two hives that they currently have up. Tane picking off Eagle Eye. Spring going down, Wob going down, Ray's left. He's going to get trampled by Llama. Alright, so they didn't really finish the power there either. They can have somebody just knock that power down just to make sure, but it didn't get too much repaired. Alright, so they're building another armory up in base, it looks like. I don't know, so a lot of this stuff seems to have been like forward, whatever the heck, forward armory, forward OBS, which is kind of useful in a few aspects, but, you know, if they lose that forward armory, well, then there goes your shotguns. So they're finally getting that again. They're up to 46 res, so it's not like they're hurting at all on that. Let's look at that. They're still on weapons 1, armor 1. Hey, what happened to your upgrades? Why don't they have, weapons 2? Because that's going to matter a lot for... Why is he shooting a shotgun? Alright. Here come the shotguns. They better watch out because obviously they do have cap packs and they still are weapons 1 though, as mentioned. So, not too crazy. Saunamen sitting at almost 7 RTs now. They're building the one here in they're building one in Overlook, which is about to get wiped off the face of the planet. Or ignored totally, so it goes. But they're getting the other one there in Nano, and that'll allow them to have a pretty good res income. You see that Saunamen has pulled ahead since about the 12-minute mark. All right, two Marines down. They have the Gorge there as well with Bile Bomb, which is helping out a lot. This may end up going for an Saunamen alien Saunamen alien victory. So there we go. So those 2 rounds didn't exactly go the way I was expecting. So it ends up being a 2-2 here for Saunamen versus 2AZ. So good as far as that goes. That is it for today. Obviously, this isn't exactly your standard NS2 night or day or whatever, so it goes. I have no idea when the next premiere match will be. Hopefully soon, because they kind of have a lot to catch up on. There's I think it's Div 4 semifinals this weekend. We'll have to see. There are the semifinals. If you didn't know, a lot of the info for semifinals and such has been posted. So go to nsl.org or ensl.org. Make sure that you've scheduled your matches and all that nonsense if you're playing. And we'll hopefully get some more matches casted. It was good to be able to finally cast a match again that, isn't while I'm hideously busy. So hopefully we'll see you guys all again soon. And thank you for watching.